This story takes place in Argentina over 60 years ago. While she's only a baby, Marcela is placed into a Catholic adoptive family. At 18, she is told that her mother was Jewish and that she had abandoned her when she was born. Today, all she has left is her identity card with her name on it, Señora Calypso. Marcela looked for her mother for a while, but she was never able to find her. Having no Jewish education, Marcela marries a non-Jew at a young age. But right after her son's birth, Diego, her husband rejects her and she finds herself alone with her baby in the streets of Buenos Aires with no money. Try to fathom this situation. It's not surprising that Diego, aged only 10, is already an experienced and successful thief. Wallets, purses, jewelry, nothing stops him. In the beginning, his mother forbade him to steal from people, but when she didn't have anything to eat, which happened quite often, she had no other choice but to let him proceed. Yes, Marcela and Diego survived thanks to theft. A few years later, Marcela's Jewish soul encourages her to try it out in Israel after a life of misery in Argentina. There she finds a job as a cleaning lady while her son, after quickly learning Hebrew, continues his dishonest activities. For Diego, now 19 years old, stealing had become second nature, a sort of game filled with adrenaline. One evening, he decides to rob a villa located in a wealthy neighborhood. He sees the place, waits until the lights are turned off, and then takes action. But once inside, he realizes there's no valuable objects to be found. No safe, no money, no precious objects, nothing. Disappointed, he's about to leave the villa when he notices a briefcase on top of the fridge, which he decides to take so he won't leave empty-handed. Once at home, he opens the briefcase, but only contains old newspapers. Annoyed, Diego tells himself that the owner is probably some greedy old man who doesn't know anything, and this is why he didn't find what to steal in his house. And then, while emptying the briefcase, he finds an envelope containing $200 and a letter, which he starts to read. "Hello, my dear thief. This briefcase is waiting for you for a number of years, as you can notice if you check the date on these newspapers. I suppose that you came to my house and you were disappointed to have left empty-handed, but I hope that the $200 in this envelope will suit you. If this is the case, I'm very happy for you." Diego has a hard time believing this. These simple words disturb him greatly. For the first time in his life, a man is giving him attention. Besides his mother, no one had ever paid him attention. No one ever talked with him, no one cared for him or showed him any affection. And today he finds a letter written by a man who not only seems to like being robbed, but also seems to rejoice himself for the robber's gains. Curious, he continues reading the letter. "I wanted to present you with the world vision of an observant Jew. One does not need to dirty one's hands with theft. God loves everyone boundlessly, and every day he takes care of them by providing them with all their needs. Know that you could have earned this money honestly, because God had already decided that you should receive the precise amount today. Since I bought this villa, I never put an alarm system because I know that God protects me and takes care of me no matter what. You are probably Jewish yourself, and if you wish, I would be happy to meet with you and tell you more about our faith. Come by whenever you want. I'm not angry nor hold any grudges against you. I want to help you. I want you to stop being a thief. With all my affection, Dr. Shraga Avigad." Astonished, Diego reads the letter over and over again. He knew that he was Jewish, but he had never heard of all these religious concepts. Deep down inside of him, he no longer wanted to be a thief, but he didn't have anything else to hold him up. Diego goes to see his mother and tells her the whole story. After a lengthy discussion, they decide to meet this unique doctor together. The next day, Marcela and her son get to the villa, ring the doorbell. A 50-year-old man opens the door and welcomes them warmly. "Hello, what can I do for you?" Embarrassed, Diego answers, "Hello, doctor? This is my mother accompanying me. I'm the one who broke into your villa last night. I'm the thief. Your letter broke my heart. I would have never imagined that God could provide every human being with their needs." The doctor answers with a big smile. "You're the thief? You can't believe how happy I am to meet you. Please come in, you're welcome." Heartbroken, Diego relates his story, how he became a thief since his young age, his arrival in Israel with his mother after a very hard life in Argentina. Up until he read that letter, then Marcela tells her story as well. Her mother abandoning her at a hospital, her adoption into a Catholic family, and their husband rejecting her following the birth of their son. After carefully listening to them, the doctor kept quiet and thought for a while. Nervous, he starts to walk rapidly into the living room. All of a sudden, he begins whispering, "This can't be. This can't be." Surprised, Marcela and Diego look at each other without understanding the situation. The doctor leaves for a moment and returns while pushing a wheelchair in which his mother is seated. An elderly woman facing her, he says, Mommy, when you were young, you had recounted to me an event that had happened to you, and I'd like Marcel and Diego to hear it. His mother hesitates before recounting her story. My name is Naomi. I got married very young, but I couldn't have children. After several years of tears and prayers, I finally got pregnant with a little girl. When I gave birth, I barely had the time to kiss her, and I lost consciousness due to a virus that was highly endangering my life. I remained 3 months in a coma, and upon my arising, I was told that my baby died from jaundice. But when I had seen her before passing out, she didn't look ill at all, and to this day I'm convinced that the government stole my baby girl. Marcela asks her which government she's referring to. Naomi answers, that of Buenos Aires in Argentina, where I grew up. At the time, my name was Senora Calypso. And then Marcela was floored, shocked. She couldn't see a single word. Trembling, she digs into her bag, takes her mother's old identity card, and gives it to Naomi, who can't believe it. This is my identity card. Where did you get this from? Overwhelmed, she tells her, I received it from the Argentinian government 30 years ago, and I wanted to know who my mother was. They told me she had disappeared right after she gave birth. But now I know that all these were lies. And she bursts out into tears in her mother's arms. Not only did Marcela find her mother after looking for her for years, but also a brother, a Dr. Avigad, who happens to be Diego's uncle. Family reunion perfectly orchestrated by divine providence. Simply marvelous. Quite moved, Dr. Avigad then tells Diego, you know, when I first put the briefcase on top of the fridge 15 years ago, my only goal was to help a Jew come back to his roots and get closer to his Creator. But little did I know that the thief would be my own nephew. Shabbat Shalom.